So the Elder Scrolls Online really been going hard with some of these new skill styles. Today I'm bringing you a video to help you and your group get the new green wall skill style for your favorite green meanies. Wait, not that green meanie. No, not that one either. No, these green meanies. The green wall skill style comes from completing the achievement Exiled Redoubt Challenger from Fallen Banners. This achievement has 4 sub-achievements, which include completing the dungeon on just Veteran mode, completing the dungeon on Veteran Hard mode, completing the speedrun of the dungeon, and completing the dungeon with no deaths. Let it be noted that all of these can be ran in different instances, and to get the skill style, you don't have to do them all at the same time. For those of you who haven't seen what the wall looks like, this is the green fire. Here's the green lightning wall, and this is the green ice wall. In this video, I'll be walking you through a run that we did to get the Trifecta, which means we did the speed run, the no death, and the hard mode all in the same run. And it'll be from the healer point of view, which honestly gives a great perspective because I was able to see everything going on during the fights, since most of the time the healer is the farthest one back. So whether your group is working on the hard mode, the Trifecta, or maybe just some of the smaller achievements to get the skill style, hopefully this video will help you out. The first thing I want to bring up is the ads. I think we all get so used to ads easy that we forget sometimes that they can wreck you. So even though most of the starting ads here are going to be relatively easy peasy, the ones that I want you to pay special attention to are the ones that are in these hallways coming up. These ad pulls here have one ad doing a nasty cone, and another ad will be channeling a pull ability. And if you're not careful, the ad channeling the pull ability will actually yoink a DPS or healer into the cone. And then there goes the no death. Oh my god, wow. He said the line. He said the line. Instead of turning left here and going to the first main boss, we're actually going to take a right-hand turn and take down the first secret boss, Guard Captain Paratius. Probably said that wrong. Killing this secret boss will give a buff that will protect each person from death once every 10 minutes. Is it necessary? No. But it is a little nice insurance policy in the case that someone messes up somewhere? Yes. You can totally skip this part though if you don't feel like taking on the secret boss. This boss is fairly simple though, which makes this buff pretty free. If you have the extra time or if you want to try and secure the no death a little easier. Main thing to watch out for is the shield throw, and make sure to kill the ads that spawn during the fight. While me and my group are killing this secret boss, I wanted to take this time to say that if you're enjoying the video, or if you find this video helpful at all, consider giving it a thumbs up and hitting that subscribe button. Also leave a comment of your favorite dungeon in the Elder Scrolls Online. Okay, first boss of the dungeon is Executioner Jerensi. I personally love this fight, and the hard mode is a ton of fun and not too complicated. Once the tank starts to fight, they will want to spin the boss around so the boss is facing away from the group. The heavy that the boss does will put the tank into a heal check if they eat the cone, but the cone is pretty easily sidestepped. Executioner Jerensi will periodically dash away, activating the spike traps on the ground, which if you just follow the boss to the new location, staying out of the spike traps becomes quite trivial. At 80%, 50%, and 30%, the boss will do a mechanic called Death Knell. The first Death Knell, she'll spawn 2 ads, which once killed, one member will have the mechanic Execute, which will place a yellow growing AoE underneath your feet, which everyone has to stand in to split the damage. Swirling Dark Blades is an AoE that will grow under a player's feet. and will be dropped on the ground once it's filled. Truthfully, of all the mechanics here, this one was one that we worry about the least. With such a big arena, these never cause an issue. You could stack them or drop them on the edges of the arena to be safe and save space. Each time Death Knell happens, Executioner Jerensi will spawn more adds. So the first Death Knell, she had 2 adds. Second will have 3, and the third Death Knell will have 4 adds. These adds are definitely not to be underestimated. Make sure the tank grabs them and points them away from the group. Is it 30 or 20? Spike traps will be randomly activated during the fight as well. These are pretty easily avoidable. And there you have it, Executioner Jerensi, hard mode complete. Between the first and second boss, there's not much to touch on because the adds, in my opinion, aren't anything you'll really have to worry about. Just make sure if you're going for the Trifecta and or the no death, to play it smart and let the tank grab everything before rushing in. Alright, now we're here at the second boss, Prime Sorcerer Vanderallen. There's probably a million ways to do this fight. I'm going to break down how we did this fight. First thing I want to talk about is for this boss is the heavy attack. The heavy attack that goes out will spawn lightning strikes under the player's feet, so you want to make sure to look out for that and move out of the lightning strikes. One of the major mechanics I want to bring up is Iron Charge. At around 90%, 70%, 50%, and 30%, the boss will hop on his high horse and ride around the arena. Spiders will spawn and chase each player. Now these spiders hurt if they blow up on you, so make sure you get these spiders to the dome that the friendly NPC Lucilla spawns. If you're kiting, yes kiters, I'm now talking directly to you, run through the dome and keep going. This will kite your spiders through the dome, which gives them the debuff and the slow, and then bam, you're back to being the furthest away from the boss to keep those storm bolts away from the group. The tank may need to chain in any remaining spiders to avoid accidental deaths. Now as you can tell in this video, I'm the one kiting the mechanic Storm Bolts. Storm Bolts is a mechanic the boss will throw to the farthest player away from him. So the way I'm doing it is I'm trying to stack them tight in these corners of the room to leave lots of space for the rest of the group to move freely around the area. The important thing to note about the Storm Bolts AoEs is that if you stand inside it, everyone in the group will take damage from chain lightning. So make sure if you're kiting to get out of the AoE as fast as you can. The next mechanic I want to bring up is Black Spine Curse. One player will get a really nasty dot called Black Spine Curse. This dot was fairly easy to manage if it was placed on me, since I was the healer and I could heal myself out of it quite easily, and still kite the Storm Bolts. And the way that we handled it if the DPS was getting the dot was that someone in the group would run barrier to pop that, and then I could pop my range heals on the group. In the hard mode, after 40%, Vanderallen will spawn 3 simulacrums around the room, which are like flame shapers, throwing fireballs around the room at group members. It's very important for the DPS to get these down very quickly, so focus those as soon as they come up. And the final mechanic I want to bring up is the boss will spawn 2 orbs that will chase group members around. These are a simple kite mechanic. They're pretty easy to get away from, not nothing really to worry about, just make sure to kite them around. And for the most part, that's all the really important things that are going to happen during this fight. This fight's actually a ton of fun, especially for the kite person, so have fun with it, and you'll definitely knock it out no problem. One of my favorite things about this dungeon is that there's really only one singular ad pull between the second boss and the final boss. And this ad pull is basically just a breadcrumb that is showing players the orb mechanic for final boss. So you don't have to go through 15 ad packs between the second boss and the final boss. It's pretty nice.
Nice.
The Squall of Retribution, the final boss. Let me just start this by saying this fight has a mechanic that I believe is 100% worth getting a group rotation down for. There are 3 elemental phases: fire, ice, and lightning. 4 ads will spawn during each elemental phase, and each will drop an orb whenever it dies. That orb needs to be absorbed by players. How do I absorb the orb? Each group member will need to synergize with the orb and successfully hold it for 15 seconds. Each player can only hold one orb, and if the player dies, that orb is dropped. But can't we just leave the orb on the ground? No. Each orb does ramping damage to the group once the AoE underneath it fills, so it's extremely important to make sure that each orb is handled properly. Now we had a rotation of tank takes first and third orb dropped. 1 DPS takes the second orb dropped, and 1 DPS takes the fourth orb dropped. I was told not to worry about orbs and just heal. The heavy. The heavy. This boss has a eat the heavy and take some debuffs, or dodge the heavy and I get angry mechanic. If the tank eats the heavy, they'll have hindered and rattled applied to them, which is 2 debuffs. One is a healing debuff and the other one makes the tank take more damage. The tank can choose to roll the heavy, but it will enrage the boss, which makes the boss do more damage for a short duration. An important mech that can throw the no death here is 6 Sword Assault. The boss will charge for a second and then shoot out 6 swords that then return to the boss, damaging the whole way. Important to block or roll the AoEs during this mechanic, but it is pretty heavily telegraphed, so keep that in mind. There is one last mechanic that I want to shine a light on for your run, and that is Thunderstruck. Huh? Wait, no, Thunderstrike. If you watched my Earthen Root Enclave video, I talked a lot about Zip Zaps towards the end of that fight as well. With Thunderstrike, these lightning strikes have thrown more than a few runs I've been in. Just make sure to block and not stack on others, and you'll be fine. Other than that, most of the other smaller mechanics are just things like avoid the fire tornadoes flying around the room, don't stand in the big AoE vortex whenever the boss doing the spinny blade move. The mechanics here aren't too difficult, but super fun. So I'm wishing you all the best of luck in getting your beautiful new green wall. Thank you so much for watching, and I really do hope you enjoyed the video. If you want to catch me live, I stream Sunday through Thursday at twitch.tv/DrewOut, 10 p.m. to 4 a.m. Central Time. I'll see you on the next one.